What's going on, guys? Man Cake here, and it's been quite some time since I've uploaded a My Player game, so I apologize, but I'm going to go ahead and blame Brown Magic for sending me that message right at the opening tip, because I do miss the tip. I don't think I've done that in quite some time. Caught me off guard, but anyway, I'm going to warn you in advance, this game isn't very close at all. I know some of you don't like watching games that aren't even competitive, but to be honest, I just felt like I needed to get a video out. I've been playing these games 2 or 3 games a week since my little batch of corrupt files I had. I had a bunch of good gameplay and a couple of really good My Player games that were so close and so good, but they were part of that batch that were corrupt, and it was a really big bummer because I think one of the games, Shaq hit a 3/4 court buzzer beater to tie the game, and we went into overtime. It was nuts. He's been traded to the Clippers. It was a really good game, and it would have been fun to watch, but obviously I can't do that anymore, so it's a bummer. But you know, I just needed to get something up, and hopefully we'll continue to post these here fairly frequently. And as you can tell so far, we've just been destroying them, hitting pretty much every shot. And Dwayne Wade, he's just been going off. He loves running this ISO play. Obviously, the computer calls plays for me, and he does this dunk a few times this game, but it's really fun to watch. I don't know why. It just seems like he's going to continue to go up for forever, and I apologize if I sound like I'm rambling today. I just got a lot to talk about for whatever reason, and you know, I get a little bit lucky here. I was a trailer on the play. I get the offensive rebound, and although I don't make the shot, I get some free throws, which is acceptable. And you know, for those that saw our RDR video last week, or Red Dead Redemption, I mentioned some things about 2K10 and how we were hopefully planning on, you know, stopping with this in about the next month or two, so that we can prepare for 2K11 and, you know, maybe have a little bit of a break in between the games. But you know, that does come out in October, and we want to finish this up soon, and that's a pretty nice flush. Don't get those too often from me. But anyway, I'm going to hopefully post another 4 or 5 regular season games, and then, you know, move on to the postseason, and I'll try and post the All-Star game as well if all goes well. And you know, it should be a good time, and I just want to get this wrapped up as fast as we can, because you know, we got to start considering things about 2K11. And oh my, I forgot about that sick block. But this play never really works, so I always just do this, and it always works for the alley-oop, and it's really an odd alley-oop there. Let's take a look again. That's just like, I don't even know, the girliest alley-oop I've ever seen. It's probably because I'm 18 feet tall, but you know, whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to try and post another 4 or 5 games. I'm getting a little bit bored with these games, to be honest, just because this team is so ridiculously good. But you know, I'm going to finish the season. I have an obligation to you guys, and you know what I'm asking for you. And oh wow, I forgot about this play too. Ridiculously long pass. Did not see that coming, and Rudy Gay with a filthy reverse throw down there. And you know what I'm going to ask for you guys here is, I need some ideas for challenges for me in these games to do, and I'll get into more of that in a minute. But if you didn't notice back there, there was a little defensive 3 seconds call, and these Kings are running some really bad version of the 2-3 zone, and you know, D Wade and myself are just going to punish them for doing that. You know, these quick and easy pick and rolls, so easy to get oops off of when there's nobody in the lane, and you know, they're always going in and out of the lane to avoid the 3 seconds call. And you know, it's really going to put them away for the rest of the game, and there's just going to be a ton of scoring in the paint, or, you know, shooting from the elbows where they're finding the gaps in the zone. And that was a ridiculous oop. Some great ball movement there. But about those, I guess you could call them challenges, I just want random stuff to mess around with in My Player and try to go for. I'm not one that's a man that really likes monster stats, but, you know, if you guys challenge me with some comments below for maybe like a 30-30 game with 30 points, 30 rebounds, I'll go for that, and I'll try and upload that, or something like breaking the NBA blocks record for a single game, or maybe just like a double-double where I only score on purely tip slams, so that'd be at least 5 tip slams in one game, or you know, score a certain amount of points in the post and only the post for a game, or you know, finally maybe like a quintuple double, which would be pretty ridiculous, and I'd have to play pretty cheesy, but I could go for it. But as you can tell, it's the end of the first half here pretty much, and we're just not stopping with this punishment. Dwayne Wade just stealing the ball nonstop, and he's not stopping. Like I said, it's kind of a dick move, and I was almost certain that ball was going to go in, but it hits the back iron, and you know, I guess that's good for the Kings, because it really couldn't get much worse, to be honest, and we almost doubled their score at halftime. I get subbed out a lot here in the second half. But yeah, so let me know what you think about that idea for some challenges so that I can get, moving on some of these games. And, hopefully I'll post another association game here this weekend. Another thing worth mentioning is the NBA draft. I'm sure some of you watched that on Thursday, and, it was a pretty interesting draft, but it all pretty much went according to plan for the most part as far as drafts go. And, I was kind of expecting some more crazy blockbuster trades, to be honest. They don't always happen, but they do shake things up, and I thought there were some teams that were really looking to move around and mix up their salary. But, if you think about it, I think back in like 1998, Robert Tractor Trailer, who I'm sure none of you have heard of, was essentially traded for Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash. And, just crazy how one-sided some of these trades can end up being, looking back. So I guess you never know, but, it was an interesting draft to say the least, and I'm kind of excited to see how this pans out. I keep forgetting. Oh, whoops. Almost forgot about the tip slam. You can't forget that. But, kind of interesting to see how this draft will pan out here in a few years. And I honestly feel like Evan Turner is going to be the Rookie of the Year. I just think he's got the most complete game, and he's probably going to get the most consistent minutes. And, he'll probably put up some of the best numbers. But, I'm not sold on that. There's so many players that could do some great things in the NBA. And a lot of people forget that Blake Griffin is actually going to still be a rookie this year, since he didn't get any real playing time last year. And I think he could be a factor if he doesn't get injured. And should be interesting to see how that pans out. And let me know who you think is going to be the Rookie of the Year, actually. And, we probably get some interesting comments. I know everybody's going to pick their team's player, but there are a bunch of good players, and you never know what's going to happen. And maybe give me an idea of who you think is going to be that really big surprise player, that Brandon Jennings that comes out of nowhere and has a really good season when nobody expected him to. And I think that could probably be Blake Griffin, just because people forget about him. But you really don't know with the Clippers. Something could go really wrong there. We never know. And as you can tell, like I said, Dwayne Wade, just an amazing game. I had a pretty beastly game, and pretty good stats from the entire team. Not so good from the Kings. Got a couple of random clips here from RDR playing with some of our buddies online, and they're really extremely random. Why don't we all just go jump off a cliff just because? And that's what we're going to do, apparently. And Chempy's here as well, and almost fake everybody out by not jumping, but I do end up jumping and joining the mass suicide party. A couple more of these here in a second, but just a reminder to comment on those My Player challenges, and, give me some ideas of, potential really good rookies. And kind of a dick move there, exploding horses all over, somebody with dynamite. But, yeah, just give me an idea of those rookies you might think will have a big impact this year and who might be the Rookie of the Year. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys, and have a good one.